Not to be indelicate about it, but if Mom made me eat one more bite of cake, I was going to throw up. And not gently or modestly or in a ladylike fashion. I'd honestly ingested enough dessert in the last hour to sink a submarine with no end in sight. Don't get me wrong, I loved my mother's baking. Dreamed about it, in fact, and rarely, if ever, turned down a slice after dinner. My cousin Robert's comments about my expanding backside, if true, and I still argued against his jerkish assessment, could only be blamed on Mom's cake. But a girl has her limits, and I had finally reached mine, groaning as I sat back with both hands pressing to my distended stomach, burping softly around the chocolate, vanilla, red velvet, buttercream, and banana that swam on the surface of a variety of other flavors I'd rather not taste again in reverse. Gross. From the crazed look in Mom's eyes, she didn't care I was ready to burst out of the waistband of my yoga pants. I'd never seen her so focused, so intensely driven as I had the last 3 weeks. Ever since Olivia Walker, our town mayor, if only still in that position by the skin of her heavily whitened teeth, offered Mom an exclusive opportunity my amazing mother couldn't even consider turning down. Too sweet? Mom's green eyes narrowed while she examined my expression. Did she take the wince I shared with her as a judgment of her baking? Too salty? I shook my head. Delicious, Mom. Okay, so it came out weak and shaking and as close to a groan as I'd ever heard. Honest, they're all, amazing. Mom tapped her fingertips on the counter, glaring at the plate next to her and the remains of the selection of cakes she'd been stuffing into my mouth. Maybe if I combined the maple with the vanilla and a hint of cinnamon topped with cream cheese icing. Just the description was almost enough to send me over the edge. She whipped her head back around to glare at me. Try this. I stood abruptly, shaking my head, backing away from her, while my pug Petunia licked her lips and moaned in hopeful frustration. She at least wouldn't turn Mom down, but I absolutely had to. Gastric explosion imminent. Mom, they're all fantastic. I waved off the fork laden with gooey goodness she jabbed at me. You're going to crush your competition under a crust of sugary perfection. Trust me. Mom snarled almost savagely, dropping the cutlery to the table, looking distinctly disappointed. Fine, quit on me. Where's Daisy? My best friend had already fled, abandoning me to my mother's baking insanity with a headshake and a wincing smile of apology. I'd never forgive her for leaving me here like this when my mother had clearly lost her mind.